Hey you guys, we are in sunny, beautiful, current day Arlington, Massachusetts, then the town of Menotomy, where the bloodiest fighting of the events of April 19, 1775 actually took place. It is the next day, and they have the reenactment here every year on the following day just because there's so much going on in Lexington and Concord. But this is an awesome, awesome event, and I wanted to make sure to bring you guys a battle. We should go for the trifecta. We had Paul Revere's ride, the festivities yesterday, culminating in this bloody, bloody battle, and I just couldn't not come, and I'm on a roll, feeling good, so really excited about that. Now, after the fighting in Concord, the movement kept going this way towards Boston, and there were skirmishes behind stone walls in all of the villages, and we had Parker's Revenge, all kind of culminating here in what was then Menotomy. And it was insane. I want you guys to just think of this for a second. The British column was a mile long. So there was a lot of them, and as they moved to take Boston, our guys kind of moved with them. But what happened was, this was a lot more countryside. Menotomy was much bigger back in the day than current day Arlington is, but you had other Minutemen and militia groups, particularly like Danvers. A lot of men from Danvers came here to this spot to help surrounding militias. They all came together, culminated here, and Hugh Percy was in charge of the British line here. Now, Hugh Percy, not a nice man. He instructed his troops to pillage, burn, and shoot anybody on sight. It was brutal. It went from fighting in columns in the very British way, like on Lexington Green, to just hand-to-hand combat and bloody, bloody warfare. Now, this was the bloodiest part of Lexington and Concord, and understand that it really should be, we all say Lexington and Concord, the Battles of Lexington and Concord. It really should be the Battles of Lexington, Concord, and Menotomy. Jason Russell was a 50-year-old middle-class farmer. Originally, his property encompassed 40 acres. He had sheep, cattle, and a lot of apple orchards. Jason Russell wasn't with any particular militia group. He wasn't a Minuteman. He wasn't officially signed up with anybody, though he was a Patriot. His MO was really to defend his farm and property, and he sent his wife Elizabeth out with their children and made sure that they were safe and gathered some friends, and they just waited to defend their farm and see how things would unfold. Tragically, they did. 11 people end up dying inside of Jason Russell's home, which you can see right there. Original home has never been moved. He himself included dies on the front porch. The bodies are dragged into the kitchen. By the time his wife comes home, she does sadly see his body lying inside of there. The thing about this is it's a moving battle, so we're going to see it play out as it did on the move. That column was a mile long, red coat strong, and our guys were coming from all over, literally out of the woodwork, behind stone walls. A lot of the fighting was done, and they gave them what for all the way to Boston. You guys, this was a victory for us against all odds. And given everything that had just happened the last 24 hours, I hear the fife and drum. Now, and in theme with our timeline we've been following and the crazy events of the last couple days, Paul Revere did ride through here that same night. So, sometime after midnight, he made it through here and did warn them that the regulars were out. And then full circle, things did happen in Lexington and Concord, as we know. And then this happened same day in the afternoon. I think it was about 3 o'clock by the time everything went down here. It was a mild weather day. It was one of the most mild winters and springs that New England had known for a while. And this wasn't heavily organized, of course. You had militia groups and Minutemen that had trained, but nobody knew exactly what was going to happen as we followed them into Boston. Ultimately, of course, they do end up occupying Boston. That's the British. And then eventually we do kick their butts out. So This is a glorious, glorious occasion, and I can't wait to show you guys because this is a really cool event. 250 years later. Like people walking in front of me, but I found this little overhang in front of this taqueria. So I don't want to move because I have shade and it's very, very sunny, and I got a lot of sun yesterday. But again, we should be able to see everything because it's a moving battle. So that's another thing that makes this unique. We are on Mass Ave, or Massachusetts Avenue, same avenue we were on in Lexington. So kind of funny. I'm kind of running on like the 4th day in a row of coming down here and doing these things, but I just couldn't miss it. And I was like, I got to give my people a battle. And boy, if you're going to give a battle, Menotomy is the one to give. It wasn't good. Listen, if you're going to time travel, I have some advice for you. If a man named Jason Russell asks you to come inside of his house and says that he's just defending his land, don't go in because you might end up a goner. Poor Jason Russell and his buddies. She's telling people that the regulars are coming to get ready. And that would have been, I mean, this was, townspeople were sounding the alarm. They knew because Paul had ridden through here, but, you know, it must have been terrifying. They didn't know exactly what was going to happen. They knew it wasn't going to be good. They were right. 40 redcoats do end up dead in this battle, by the way. Oh boy. She said no one's moving. Oh God. Imagine the adrenaline coursing through their bodies as they... And of course there was no Whole Foods here.
There would have been trees everywhere.
It had been trees, forested dirt roads, and farmland. Jason Russell's house had 40 acres, so we would probably still be standing on Jason Russell's property, which did see a majority of the fighting. The Jason Russell house is going to be today, but there is actually blood stains in there, and it's riddled with bullet holes, like to this day. So, yeah, very real evidence of all of the heartache left behind.
Back in my day.
That may be Samuel Cook was, the Reverend Samuel Cook was the local reverend here, and he gave awesome Patriot kind of themed sermons and battle sermons, and he didn't shoot, but he was with his men on this day, and I think that's what he did. Oh man. I'm gonna reload.
That's all that's happening. They're firing gunpowder into the air. It's exploding.
Look at that! Sticky balls. Look at those big sticky balls. It's coming! It's not
In goes the gunpowder, down the barrel, at the wadding. Bring Cora.
Why did that one sound different?
total 40 British would die today in 1775 at the Battle of Menotomy.
Pounding. What?
They removed the barriers and we crossed the street over to the Jason Russell House, and here's the plaque in front of it on the site where he and 11 others were captured, disarmed, and killed, like I said. And you know, it wasn't enough that he was shot, he was also bayoneted. I guess they wanted to make sure that they were dead. I always hope for mercy and that they died of the gunshot wounds before they could feel any of the bayonet wounds, because that would be absolutely awful. I don't know if it's open or anything like that, but we're gonna come over here and take a look. Arlington police did a great job of securing the area, and it was very organized. It was mass chaos to get out, but still not as bad as Paul Revere's house, but maybe like half as bad. Oh, the apple tree. Yeah, so funny you mentioned that. This was 40 acres and there were a ton of apple trees. He had apple groves and he considered himself a shepherd. He had a lot of sheep. Very poignant for today, also being Resurrection Sunday. Happy Easter, everyone. The Jason Russell House is closed today, which is a little weird. But at least we got to walk around it. I will come back and show you guys the bullet holes and the blood stains sometime. I mean, there it is, and there's the porch. It's terrible. A beautiful day for a victorious revolution. What a treat. 250 years. I'm walking right through the middle of Mass Avenue today. Only some of you will have any idea what that's an ode to. If you do, leave in the comments. Kay just went on some business in Indianapolis, Indiana. He actually was impressed with that city. I've only driven through it. But they have a Mass Avenue, Massachusetts Avenue as well. Kind of funny.
It's a cool flagpole. Get up out of the base.
Oh yeah. We should get one like that for the house. That is cool. Robin's Memorial Flagstaff. Figures depicted a Puritan divine, a Pilgrim Mother, 4 Minutemen, and a Squam sachem. Oh my gosh. I have never seen this or noticed it. That is gorgeous.
See how
that is.
It says honor on the concrete.
That is.
Patriotism.
That is gorgeous.
Look, turtles are holding it up.
Oh yeah. Of course, the most central thing in the lives of early America would have been the scriptures.
Obedience.
How beautiful. My hair is going crazy, but the breeze is so nice. It's that perfect amount of sunshine, and if it wasn't for the breeze, it'd be hot, but it's actually perfect. It is another Lafayette tour stop. On September 2nd, 1824, General Lafayette was welcomed in this town. Local citizens greeted him in front of the meeting house. Always love a Lafayette tour stop. And there is a huge police presence here today, kind of like we saw yesterday, but yeah. On April 19th, 1775, the old men of Menotomy, captured a convoy of 18 soldiers with supplies on its way to join the British at Lexington. So that would have been in the early morning hours. And I want to mention Samuel Whittemore. We can't forget to talk about him. Samuel Whittemore was 78 years old when fighting broke out here, and he lived a few miles down the road. He was fighting from over a stone wall in front of his property, and he was shot and bayoneted multiple times, left for dead. He kept fighting as long as he could until his wife found him out there on the road. He was injured and in a bad way, but recovered and went on to live to 96 years old. Every year here in Menotomy, and actually it's been declared across the state of Massachusetts, they do have Samuel Whittemore Day. Now, another interesting thing, this is also the birthplace of quote-unquote Uncle Sam. Now, he later on went on to live a lot of his life in New Hampshire, and he died, I think, in New York State, so he was a bit of a rambling man. But here you can see near the spot stood the birthplace of Samuel Uncle Sam Wilson, Patriot, participant in 1775. His Troy packing plant fed the soldiers of 1813. His popular nickname associated with the U.S. on the barrels gave us the term Uncle Sam for the United States. Basically, he was a badass patriot, served in many ways, and the name stuck and became synonymous with patriotism. You can see this lovely memorial to him.
I'm gonna throw it away here.
Samuel Wilson, a native son born near this site on September 13, 1766. He became our national symbol, Uncle Sam. Cute the Arlington Visitor Center is.
So if you are here, I would recommend coming on downtown and seeing that. They're going to be riding all the way from Boston. So yeah.
Paul Revere's ride again.
Revere.
In 1883, a young Cyrus Dallin won a national competition for a monument honoring Paul Revere in the city of Boston. After persevering for 57 years and creating 7 different models, a 79-year-old sculptor, witnessed the unveiling of his masterpiece in Boston's North End in 1940. And it's one of my favorites. And here is a little model of it. Of course, it sits in Paul Revere Square in the North End. Museum. Okay, we stepped inside the house, and wow, here are original models for his sculptures. This one is called the Scout. Kagawea. That is so beautiful. This beautiful painting of the plains. Wow. A model or some kind of maquette of a World War I memorial that actually never came to fruition, but that's beautiful. Got a lot of commission work. I mean, this is titled My Mother, and it was a family that just commissioned this to be made. They were from Salt Lake City. Meow, meow, meow. His own son wanted a figure of their cat, their family cat, so him as a good father made his son a statue memorializing their pet kitty.
This one I love. This is in Syracuse.
This is an unexpected bit of bonus here today. Boy, whirlwind day. Another fantastic day. Happy Patriots Day, everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed this series of days that I've brought you with me on. It has been so much fun to film, so much fun to experience. And if you guys have any questions, drop them. I'm here for you. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe if you would. I'm that history chick, and of course, like Patrick Henry, I know of no way of judging the future but by the past. Remember that I'm also on Instagram at @that_history chick, on Facebook at That History Chick, and right here on this channel. We have so much more ahead, history and otherwise, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bonus footage. Since we haven't eaten all day, I think all I've had is, I literally had a scoop of peanut butter before we left because I knew that I needed some kind of protein, and I had 2 cups of coffee. Oh, and I had like a quarter of a piece of matzah. So yeah, if you count that as eating. We haven't eaten all day. Did you eat anything?
We had waffles.
Oh.
Eggo
Oh, he had the kids' toaster waffles. Good thing.
Outback maple syrup.
Good thing you did. So we decided that we need to eat before we go home. And look at Bunker Hill. What better place to do that than Warren Tavern, named after Joseph Warren, who orchestrated the events of Patriots Day, April 19, 1775. Much of what went down was because of him and his organization and his intelligence, and we are so appreciative. So we're going to eat at the tavern named in his namesake, built after the Battle of Bunker Hill in his honor, and enjoy some yummy food. It's one of my go-tos. It's safe. I've been here millions of times. We will have the Battle of Bunker Hill, the 250th, coming up in June. The battle will actually be in Gloucester, Mass, because you see, this is a very tight little area of the city. A lot of it is resident parking or parking pass only. So the battle is going to be in beautiful Gloucester, a place we love. But there will be ceremonies here as well, I'm sure. So we will be checking all of that out soon. In the meantime, you're going to get some yummy food. This place is always hopping, but right now not so bad. And look at, I have JFK peeking from above. Here's what we're working with. Caleb got he's been having a hankering for a fried chicken dinner, so. Here we go, and you guys don't make fun of me. I got chicken tenders. Take a little walk with us. This is gonna be bonus footage. Beautiful Charlestown neighborhood. Very, very full. It's good to walk after you eat. Practice I do. Walking up to Bunker Hill. And there is a flag draped from the tippity top. I have never seen that before. Just so you guys know, a lot of these places are not, like, these aren't apartments. People live in these. Like, that's one place. Yeah, on some of these places, like, look at the copper
Top deck too.
and these arched windows. I mean, if you're into architecture, there's another reason to visit Boston and the Charlestown neighborhood in particular. It's absolutely beautiful. And you guys, I cannot believe what a beautiful day this has turned into. It's like perfection. Sure, perfect. Okay, there's the hill we just came up in the city in the background. Here's Bunker Hill on a spring day. Daffodils and everything. Bad, the flag got stuck. It was hanging down and somehow got hooked to the top. Here comes an airplane. So Noah recently climbed to the top and he said it was really scary. He got like super dizzy and had to sit up there for a while, and some old lady was I couldn't go with him because I have terrible vertigo and fear of heights. But some lady was nice and made sure he was okay, and he came down and he was like, that was so scary. But I'm proud of him for doing it. The view is epic. We'll be spending a lot of time here, I'm sure, in the next couple of months for the 250th anniversary in June. The Battle of Bunker Hill / Breeds Hill. It is sacred ground. Good men died here. Our Dr. General Joseph Warren included. Just views for days. So we're just going to keep walking a little bit. This could probably be like multiple videos, but that's okay. We come here enough. It's just really good bonus footage. Trail to Freedom. That's a Freedom Trail. So eventually you would get back downtown. You'd have to go over by the USS Constitution, cross the bridge, and follow the path that Noah and I were on 2 nights ago when Paul Revere rode through all these parts. And eventually, it would take you to Paul Revere's house. Copp's Hill Burial Ground. Let's see. Too many places to mention, really. Well, and then eventually you'd get to like the Old Corner bookstore. Let's see, Old South Meeting House, the Old State House, Faneuil Hall. Yeah. Maybe one day I should do a complete, that would be fun. Do a complete Freedom Trail video. It's been a while since I've done like the complete thing, like a tourist, like really walking the Freedom Trail beginning to end. That might be cool. We did it with the kids when they were young, and then Kay and I walked the Freedom Trail together one time when we came out here. But I haven't done the entire thing since I've lived here. I've done like sections of it, and naturally, like just now, you end up on it. But that might be fun. If you guys see those flags with the blue field and the red and white in the corner, well, that one's hard to see because it's all ruffled up. And then there's the New England pine tree in the corner. That is specifically the Bunker Hill flag. It's 81, 81 and a half, and 81B. But look, this one, look at this. Oh, there's a good example of a large Bunker Hill flag, but look how it's tucked back in this cool little pathway. Like, that's like time traveling, just looking at that. That's so cool. Interesting too, there's these two houses. You look at this one on the side, you think that's a tiny house, but it's not. It's really big. They're just facing each other and flipped. It's interesting. And there's like a little courtyard in the middle. It's cool. You know what is like one of the hardest things for me about YouTube? The title of my videos. So it's going to be something about the Battle of Menotomy and the fact that it's the 250th, but it's frustrating that the titles can only be under 100 letters. And that goes very, very quickly. It's like 2 lines worth of things I can say. And I always have more to say than that. But beyond that, we did a lot more than that today. I mean, that's the main thing, but it turned into a lot more, but that won't be reflected in the title. So you guys have to always remember to watch all of my video because there's usually lots of other things that go on, and not just bonus footage. Sometimes it's silly, but sometimes it's like really good stuff, like this slide adventure. And you're only gonna know if you know. So if you guys watch these entire things, I really appreciate that. Honestly, average watch times, and I think this is for anybody who's on YouTube, doesn't anywhere near cover, I mean, unless you're like big time, I guess, doesn't anywhere near cover the length of the video. And sometimes it's sad because I'm like, no, people are missing really good stuff. Nothing I can do about it, but I'm trying to get creative with the titles and be thoughtful about them, but sometimes there's only so much I can do. So again, if you watched all of this, thank you so much. And I am really, truly going back to New Hampshire now. Love you guys, bye.